Hi, my name is Brian and I'm the founder of SolarView. I want to thank you very much for downloading and trying the app out. I want to explain a little bit more about how to use the different features. So if you want to show someone how solar panels are going to look on their roof from the ground level, you can use panel mode. There are certain pre-made panel layouts to get you started for the different roof types that are out there. Once you select that, you'll see that it prompts you to point your phone at the house and then tap, which launches an array of panels. Then you can hit the tilt, rotate, or level button to align them with the roof. You can use 2 fingers to scale the panels to adjust them based on how far away you are from the roof.
Tap Add Remove Panels in the top left to either take away or add panels to your array. You can tap the little blue buttons on the side of each panel to add one, and you can tap the blue circle in the center to remove a panel. Then tap back to AR on the bottom right to see the changes on your solar array.
Once you're satisfied with how the arrangement looks, you click Save Picture,
And then you can show it to your client or maybe to an HOA.
This is a great tool to use if someone doesn't want to put panels on the front of their house because they're worried about how it might look.
Now, the other way of showing people how panels are going to look on their house is using the desktop version of SolarView. This is available right now on Mac and Windows. For Mac, you can download it directly from the App Store. For Windows, you need to click the link on our website. Now, often what I will do is to go on Google Street View, take a screenshot of the house, then I import it into SolarView. To try to gauge the size that the panels should be, we use the front door as a reference. So if you have a clear view of the front door, you align the green rectangle with it, scale it down till it's about the same size, and then click Next. You can also click Skip if you don't want to do that step. Now the art form is to align the panels. Often what I will do is I will rotate them so that one edge of the solar array matches up with the edge of the roof, and then tilt them so they lay flat and it actually matches the vantage point that the photo was taken from. Once you get used to doing this, it will be very easy. Click the shadow button and you can add a shadow under the array. We are always striving to make these look as real as possible. Once you have gotten the panels oriented how you like, you can click to add more or take some away. Similar to the mobile app, click the blue circles on the outside to add panels and the circle in the middle to remove a panel. Now you can add a reflection. Now these are pre-made reflections, so they don't exactly reflect the environment, but what you want to do is choose the one that's closest to the environment above the panels. Then you move the sphere around so you get the part of the reflection that actually looks more like what the sky looks like above the panels. Just like in the mobile app, when you're satisfied with your array, go ahead and click Save Picture, and now you can email it to the client or the HOA. I don't always do this before my sale is closed, but if I have a customer who's sensitive about putting panels on the front of their home, I use it as a way to show them what it might look like, and I've had people decide to go ahead based on these visualizations.
So one of the core technologies in SolarView is called augmented reality. Now, if you're not familiar with AR, what it means is that you're superimposing a virtual object on top of the real world that you can only see when you look through the camera on your phone. There have been advancements in phone technology in the last 2 years that allows the phone to not only detect walls, but also the ground. So this is perfect if you're trying to show a customer where you're going to put an inverter, an AC disconnect box, a piece of conduit, or maybe a battery on the ground. We also have carports, car chargers, and other ground-mounted equipment that you can show them using the AR feature. So if you go into electrical equipment, there's wall-mounted equipment, which is batteries, inverters, conduit, AC discos, etc. You can select AR mode or picture mode. Now this is an example of a perfect wall for what we call AR mode. It has good texture so the phone can easily detect it, and then you can superimpose 3D models of inverters, batteries, conduit, whatever you want to show the customer on top of it. So the phone will detect the wall, then you tap in the center, it prompts you to take a few steps back so you can see the equipment better. Now we have pre-made layouts that will have an AC disco, some conduit, but you might not need that. You might want to build it from scratch, or you're going to start with the pre-made layout, and then you can hit this edit button
which will allow you to take away the AC disconnect if you don't need it. You can lengthen the conduit. Maybe you want to get rid of the LB. Gives you some options from a place to start with. The goal is to try to help you work faster when you're doing this. You can also build your layout from scratch by going into the single model menu. You can move equipment around by just dragging it with your finger. If you need to rotate it, then you press down and rotate left or right. Now, because it's augmented reality, once you put it up on the wall, you can walk around, go from a faraway distance, get up close. And sometimes if you've got the customer out there with you, the magic really happens when you set it up and then you hand over your phone or tablet to them and let them see it from different angles. Not only are you showing them what's going to go on their home in a fun new way, but most people have not seen augmented reality. So you're showing them something that they've never seen before, and you win a few points that way too. Now, a wall like this is so smooth that there are very few features for the phone to detect. So you may want to use what we call picture mode, where you take a photograph of the wall and then you can put 3D models on top of it. Once you've achieved the arrangement that you want to show to your client, you simply click Save Picture. We have an optional piece of text that says that it is a visual estimate, which gives you a little bit of wiggle room because your electrician may need to change a few things when they actually do the install. The other way to preview electrical equipment that's going to go by the meter is to use the desktop version of SolarView. I use this in my own work where I'll take the site visit photos and then I add 3D models of the equipment ahead of time, so when I'm getting my roof layout approved, I can also have the electrical equipment be shown to the customer to get any feedback ahead of time. So similar to the front door, we use the meter as the reference for how big the equipment should be that goes up on the wall. So similar to the mobile app, we have pre-made layouts that you can use as a starting point, or you can build it piece by piece. So you'll see I add the HD wave inverter. Then I go back into the menu and go over to the vertical conduit. The button on the far left will allow you to add an extension onto the conduit. So when I click it, now I can select the one on the top and it automatically puts an LB there. Now sometimes you need to adjust this just slightly because it can be a little bit off, but you can rotate it so that it looks like the LB is coming down from the rooftop. So now, because it was a little bit longer than I wanted, I actually scaled the overall conduit down by pulling up and down on the arrow there. You'll see I do the same thing on the bottom of the conduit by clicking the conduit extension button and then choosing the bottom portion, which launches the LB down there. Now I know I need an AC disconnect, so I go into the electrical components menu and grab one. It is automatically rotated because we try to make it so that once you rotate one piece of equipment, anything else that you launch is going to be automatically rotated. So in this case, it was the LB that I had put at the bottom of the conduit that was rotated to the left. So just making some slight adjustments here. You see how all the buttons are selected when the models are all clicked. We're working on making that a little bit less muddy, but if you just click on the background, then you can make all that stuff disappear. So as I'm placing the horizontal conduit, it's a good opportunity to illuminate something that's going to help you when you're doing this, which is the blue arrow. So when you click and drag on the blue arrow, it basically brings a model closer or further away from the camera. So sometimes if it doesn't look like a piece of conduit is going through an AC disconnect, or a piece of equipment looks like it's not on the same plane, then you can use the blue arrow to pull it forward or back. Thanks for tuning into this tutorial. Please reach out with any questions that you may have.